Hi, everyone. We're going to give it a second to let everyone join, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, when I see the counter stop, that's when I'm going to assume most people are in, but we're going to go ahead and get started because we have a tight agenda today. But just want to welcome everyone to today's webinar where we're going to unlock the secrets to TikTok Shop success. We're thrilled to have you here as we uncover different strategies behind building and scaling a successful TikTok shop. So today's session is going to be packed with insights, takeaways, and a lot of expert advice from some of our great panelists from both Ad Quadrant, Social Snowball, and LynWorks. And hopefully by the end of the session, you'll walk away with some tools and knowledge to unlock the potential of TikTok Shop. So it's my pleasure to introduce all of our panel. Myself, I'm Caroline Schmidt, VP of Marketing, Growth Marketing here at LynWorks. We're also joined by Jeremy Fenderson, who is the Senior Director of Strategy at Ad Quadrant. He specializes in guiding businesses through e-commerce transformations by aligning market opportunities with innovative growth strategies. Jeremy will start off by walking us through the foundational framework critical to the success of TikTok Shop, and he's walked several businesses through this process at their agency, Ad Quadrant. Madi Mahal is the head of partnerships at Social Snowball, and he plays a pivotal role in developing strategic alliances, unlocking opportunities for brands to scale faster while maintaining efficiency in TikTok Shop. He'll explore how TikTok One and premium creator networks can amplify success on the platform. And then we'll close out with Bill Peden, who is our Global Manager of Solution Engineering at LynWorks, and he'll go into really looking at how to scale operationally within a marketplace like TikTok. So Bill is our Global Manager of Solutions Engineering, and he has a deep background in inventory management, and he's dedicated his career to helping retailers solve complex problems and stream their online selling operations. So really, before we can talk about scaling up or optimizing operations, it's important to have a solid foundation in place with TikTok. So building a successful TikTok shop starts with strategic groundwork. It's not a matter of jumping in and hoping for the best. So what we're going to look to do is walk through with Jeremy their strategic framework for success within TikTok. Hopefully by understanding your target audience, selecting the right product catalog, and setting the right goals, you can set yourself and your business up for long-term success. So Jeremy will be laying the groundwork for how to avoid common pitfalls and ensure that your efforts align with the unique dynamics of TikTok, because it is different than some of the other marketplaces you might be selling in. So Jeremy, I'm going to turn it over to you to make sense of your strategic framework and how to get people set up for success in TikTok Shop.
Thank you so much. Welcome everybody to today's session where we're really going to be focusing on our complete strategic framework for driving TikTok Shop success in 2025. Things have changed. Seems like a lifetime, but it's only been a year and change in terms of what TikTok has done to connect creators with businesses to drive growth in a meaningful way. It is super exciting. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is that updated approach in terms of what we do. And these are really tried and true and tested with a couple battle scars as well, exactly what needs to be done to set yourself up for success when it comes to running a successful TikTok shop. We're going to cover the critical insights, the specific steps you need to take that matter, and why the order of execution means everything. And there's some nuance in what we're doing here, and it's the difference between success and failure. Go ahead into the next slide. Okay, so this is your Amazon 2010 moment if you're looking at TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop generated over $33 billion in 2024 and upwards in over $10 billion in the US, right, in 2024. But here's what most people miss. There are a little under 400,000 active stores in the US versus millions of stores on Amazon. And 58% of the GMV comes from video content, not just traditional e-commerce, and we're less than 5% of that GMV coming from live, whereas 70% plus can come from live in China. There's a massive opportunity here, but the window is closing. So you need to understand how to set the right foundation, get into finding the data, learning and scaling. And that's what we're going to position you to do today. Next slide. So here's where most brands fail before they even start. This foundation week, right? It isn't just setup, it's strategic positioning. Here you want to select the hero products, which are critical. And it's not just your best sellers historically on other platforms. Really, what you're looking for are products that have viral potential, that fit TikTok's mobile first experience, that are discovery driven and audiences can see, understand their impact and how they can improve their lives and look to convert those impulse buys, if you will. You really want to also optimize your catalog, which means having high profile and high quality images, really benefits focused headlines so people understand as soon as they see the pages exactly what the product does and how it can help. And you really want to get social proof and reviews onto your product pages as fast as you possibly can. If you get this wrong, no amount of ad spend is going to save you. I have to be honest, right? Getting this right actually sets you up for success and profitable scale. The brands that succeed aren't guessing. They're following this systematic approach of saying what products really resonate with this audience that's on TikTok now. How do I make it very clear what the product does and how it can help them? And how do I make it a no-brainer for a customer to buy? This foundational week is critical. So we definitely want to get that right up front. Next slide. Okay. This is the testing phase, and it's really about buying intelligence, not just traffic. You're running video shopping ads, which is one of TikTok's main conversion engines right now, alongside authentic creator content that outperforms really polished brand content at the moment, right? The key insight here is really testing simultaneously, not sequentially. You want to run about 5 to 10 concepts at about $100 to $200 daily. And most brands fail here because they either under budget the testing phase and they don't buy enough data, or they don't give the algorithm enough time to learn, right? TikTok may take a couple of weeks to really find their grounding to understand exactly what's working, but that data is critical and sets the foundation for the next. Your goal isn't immediate profitability right now. Really, it's intelligence gathering and understanding what's working within the platform, because it's like the ingredients to a really great recipe that you're going to create, and it's going to drive that profitable scale, right? Next slide. From there, you want to get into accessing TikTok One to really get that scalability. This is where serious advertisers separate themselves from kind of the casual spenders. It does take an investment of about $10,000, but once you're in, everything changes, right? You get access to Spark Ads Plus, you get enhanced targeting, and most importantly, you get access to this creator marketplace of vetted creators at lower cost. This phase is about really validation and proving your concepts work consistently with this addition of these creators that perform at a higher level, not just occasionally. You need that consistent ROAS when you're looking at this phase, and you want that across multiple ads, right? And a creator pipeline is being generated at this point where you're producing high quality content mixed with the concepts that work, and it really positions you to scale. Brands that don't take this step, which is one that's new, is 2025, we're giving you the latest and greatest here, will have a bit of a challenge in trying to find creators that work. But this is one of those chess moves that you can integrate that will allow you to take the data that you've learned, match that with top quality creators, and really accelerate the GMV that your video is driving. This is a part of that systematic approach that you really want to think about when you're building for success here on TikTok Shop. All right, next slide. All right. Now, in phase four, this is where systematic execution really starts to pay off. You graduate from validating concepts to really running GMV Max, one of the cornerstones of TikTok Shop scaling when it comes to advertising. TikTok smart bidding for revenue optimization is key here. Now you're setting targets and you're saying, I have the ingredients, I have the concepts that work, and now I'm going to throw them all into one of the most powerful advertising engines on TikTok Shop to drive that scale. Here, you're looking to target 3 ROAS, right? That's the threshold for truly being efficient. But scaling isn't just about bigger budgets anymore. It's about building that system that works well. you're going to create a content flywheel that includes VIP programs for your creators. You've now recruited creators, you've worked with TikTok One, you've had your creators that you work with internally, and you want to create a program where you not only make it a transactional relationship, but one where you're treating them kind of white glove service, right? Communicating with them, creating communities. You want them to feel special with working with your brand because they perform. They'll want to work with you consistently and drive that relationship. Also, you can start to get into live shopping, which is really a content multiplier, and it's a different way to engage with the audience, right? And then from there, you'll have the ability to take the creators you have that are driving performance, plus that connection with live shopping, and then the advertising strategy that's leveraging both VSAs as well as GMV Max to really drive the scale of revenue that you're looking for, right? All right, next slide. All right. So success on TikTok really requires mastering those three elements. That foundation, which is really setting up your shop, selecting the right products that are really going to resonate with the audience, testing at a light level to really buy that data, and then execution, really taking that plan and figuring out what works for you. And then from there, leveraging the levers like GMV Max, scaling out into creative recruitment to take it to the next level, right? Missing any one of these, this entire framework can really break down your strategy, and you'll be struggling to figure out why you're not driving those initial sales or why you can't scale past a certain point. The foundation means that strategic SKU selection works well, and then you're executing that systematic approach to test and find that data, and you'll position yourself to scale, right? The common failure points are really predictable when you take a step back and look at the overall system. If you're rushing to scale and you don't have the data necessary to understand whether you're profitable, it'll fall over, right? If you don't have the right products to begin with, you won't drive those initial sales, right? Each of these different things have to be in place in order for you to be successful. And the big thing, really, the big takeaway as well is you can't treat TikTok like other platforms, right? There's a level of creative that is necessary to drive growth. There's a level of systematic approach in terms of testing. And then the ad units are different and nuanced in terms of what you need to do to drive success. But if you take those steps that I've provided for you so far, if you execute them in the sequence that we've talked about, you'll be able to be a cut above the rest of the brands that may come onto TikTok and just recruit creators and wait for the revenue to come in. That's one of the biggest learning curves that you can traverse just by following the steps we talked about today. All right. All right. So you've seen the framework that we talked about. We talked about the phases. There are a number 20 plus critical decisions even within this framework that we talked about here. And this requires platform specific expertise, a creative network and management structure that actually allows you to be successful consistently, as well as daily algorithm optimization that comes from an understanding of what the ads need to do in terms of testing, finding performance, and scaling. And a lot of brands may skip some of these steps or get overwhelmed in trying to manage all of that, plus the operational aspect of TikTok Shop. That's exactly why we built our systems and frameworks to help brands manage this process and move forward in an accelerated timeline. We execute our entire framework for you, from the hero SKU selection through to the content flywheel, right? We have the creator networks as well, based off of our previous work that allows us to really vet and cherry pick who's going to get traction for you first and allow you to cut that learning curve, right? As well as having that TikTok One access, and really understanding the nuances of the program. Our experience in driving success for brands previously help brands that really want to make an impact and make TikTok Shop a major part of their strategy easier on the brand, and also help find those new opportunities that are specific to the brand. So that's one reason why we provide value to consumer brands who really want to engage with TikTok Shop, knowing that there is a formula that you can follow that I've set out, but also tailoring it directly to that brand. So TikTok Shop can be a massive opportunity for brands if they follow the right steps. If they want to work with a partner that will allow them to take it to the next level with speed and intelligence, we're also here to help.
Thanks, Jeremy. Couple of questions that we had previous to the session, and I want to encourage, I saw a question come in, but if anyone has any questions as we're going through this, please add them to Q&A, and we have some time at the end to cover that with the panelist. But you had mentioned before the strategic framework and making sure all of these kind of pillars are within the framework. I think we got some questions about people that are kind of in the process, have already set up their shop, and they're trying to figure out how to increase their shop score, how to improve their metrics. Also question around, videos are not working the way that they thought they would. Um, what would you recommend to those people that already have some of these elements set up? Is it going back and looking at and making sure that all of these elements are there? What's the best approach?
I would definitely start with the products that were selected, right? You can put all your products on TikTok Shop. You might have a bunch of SKUs. You also may have a lot of sales on other platforms, Amazon, Shopify, and so on. I would really take a very open-minded approach to understanding what's actually gaining traction on TikTok Shop right now. You may be surprised in terms of what works, and there are tools available, even just going directly onto the TikTok Shop platform to see what's selling. I would stand on the shoulders of your competitors initially to grab that data. If you have no sales at all, the first question is, am I selling the right thing, right? Which may not be the most profitable thing, or it may be very profitable, but it's just not a big mover on your other platforms. Really think about what you're selling, what you're promoting and putting first, and take that hero product strategy. I cannot emphasize enough how that was a game changer in some of the brands that we've scaled to millions in revenue by saying we're not going to focus on everything. We're going to focus on 1 to 2 products, and we're going to go very heavy into that. Also thinking about the resources necessary to drive success, right? Once you have, if you try to spread your resources across 30 different products, you can only buy so much data across all of those products. But if you hone in and focus on validating what already has traction on the platform, really understanding what creators are driving success there, and then selling similar products, you can then focus your efforts on buying data around those products from an ad standpoint, from a creative concept standpoint, from a creator standpoint. That's one of the key areas I would look at. TikTok has a number of published best practices in terms of exactly what boxes you need to check to improve your score. My main focus would be, am I selling the right product? And once I'm selling the right product, what video concepts are working in terms of what's said in the first 3 seconds? What type of creators working? Those are the things that I'd be looking at. And the third piece from there, as I talked about in the framework, is put a little ad spin behind the video concepts that you have out there to buy data. If you do that, you'll be miles ahead of just having a bunch of products in your store and waiting for creators to come to you, or messaging creators to get them to promote everything. You really have to focus on where you put your resources to get that data.
Great, thank you. Um, and as Jeremy mentioned, I think one of the big things is TikTok is very different than other marketplaces because of the creative aspect of it. So that brings us kind of to our next section of this presentation as we talk about one of the key aspects to success on TikTok Shop is working with affiliates and creators. TikTok is really built on social engagement. So one of the strongest assets is its community of creators. So Madi is going to talk a bit here about establishing your affiliate program, what that looks like, what that framework is. And I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Caroline. Hey, everyone. My name is Mehdi. I am the head of partnerships at Social Snowball. I think you need to click next on that. Just to give a difference between what we mean by affiliate marketing, because that's a word that's been thrown around. Affiliate marketing has existed for far, far longer than TikTok Shops has, but the meaning of the word has also changed. Legacy affiliates are those you think of as listicles, publishers, the top 10 lists that you see on BuzzFeed, the New York Times, Wirecutter, bloggers, and media buyers. And it's usually much more expensive. They're what we think of as legacy affiliates. And this was how the model was 10 years ago. Now, social media channels like TikTok Shop have kind of changed the meaning of what it means to have affiliates promoting your brand and helping your brand boost its awareness, its sales, and also its reach across wider audiences. And so who are the modern affiliates? I would say today they're more the influencers, the creators, the ambassadors, your customers who can become any of those as well. Those are the kind of affiliates that we're going to be talking about today. And those are who we consider modern affiliates, meaning they are flexible, it costs a lot less to work with them, and they can have exponential amounts of benefit to your brand's bottom line without draining the bank. Let's go next. So when you're starting to think about, okay, where do I start? There are so many TikTok Shop creators out there. Where do I even begin with affiliate marketing? Begin at home. The lowest hanging fruit is your existing customer base. Any person who's found your brand organically, has found your product, and then went on to purchase, that is your ideal candidate to become your first affiliates and ambassadors. You want to turn your customers into affiliates, avoid losing on that word of mouth marketing revenue. What does this mean? Usually when somebody buys something, they're excited about it. They go home, they tell their wife, they tell their kids, they tell their spouse, their family, their friends. If they're on a social media and they have a significant following, they will even tell their followers. Currently, without affiliate marketing, brands have no way of knowing when, if, and how these conversations are happening. Converting your customers to affiliates and giving them the incentive to be able to go and promote your brand since they already liked your product organically is a great way to capture and follow up on that word of marketing revenue. Now, when it comes to TikTok Shop, if you're coming onto TikTok Shop and you want to work with the affiliate on the affiliate side, it's also best, and I think this is a great setup that we did with this webinar. It's also best to know, okay, what products do I want to promote first? And we'll walk into that into a little bit, but then also rely on some of the marketing efforts that you've made in other marketing channels. So if you've already worked with creators, or if you already have customers from your DTC website long before you started a TikTok Shop, those would be the first people you would need to reach out to really penetrate into the TikTok Shop affiliate creator networks. One, they give your brand legitimacy. Two, when people see that other affiliates are actually working with you, they will want to work with you too, the FOMO effect. And three, your customers are your best bet for organic, authentic content that will help you go viral and will also help your brand drive more sales. Next, please. So there are a couple of things not to do. If you're going to do affiliate marketing, you might as well do it right. Do not bury the lead. You want people to be able to work with you. You want people to know that you are offering this program. You want TikTok Shop creators who are checking open collaborations to know, okay, this brand is game to play. Do not include your affiliate program as a footnote on your DTC website. Do not, next slide, please. Do not make it a chore to join your program. You want to make the process as frictionless as possible. Do not make it homework, right? TikTok Shop shoppers and the audiences on TikTok, like generally on social media, have short attention spans, right? They will work with brands that are the easiest to work with. That means the brands that make them do the less work. Your job is to make your brand as easy as possible to promote and your products as easy as possible for those influencers to take out and share with their followers, friends, and family, likewise with your customers. You can gather all the data that you see on this screen and on that form from them at a later point, well past the onboarding. Next slide. So let's give you an example of what it should look like. Remove the friction. Get your customers at the moment they are most excited, when they have just purchased your product. Somebody buys your product, usually what they're looking forward to, and they're living off of the high and the dopamine rush of clicking buy. They're waiting for the shipping email. They're waiting for the delivery date. This is when you capture them. Give them a link to be able to share around. The second, within Social Snowball, just a quick plug-in for our platform. Within Social Snowball, the second this link gets shared around, a profile for them is created, and then you can enrich it with all that data that very tedious looking form is going to fill, but you want to make the starting process for your program as easy as possible. You also want to tier your program in certain ways, and we're going to show you how to do that and gamify it so that they know that working with you actually pays some dividends. And wow, not only does your brand sell great products, but they're also super easy for me to work with, and they're an additional source of cash for me. Next slide. What you want to do is also follow up with those customers. You want to maintain that excitement for as long as possible. Let's say somebody took that link and shared it with a few friends, and some of those friends converted. Follow up with those retention channels that you're already paying for. You're already paying for an email service. You're already paying for an SMS provider. Make that a pipeline funnel to your affiliate program. Because remember, again, affiliate marketing is a fantastic tool because it's people talking to people. It's not just the brand talking to folks. You're deputizing your customers and influencers out there in the wild who have a lot of cachet and legitimacy with their certain audiences, whether you're selling a beauty product or fashion and apparel. You're deputizing them to promote your brand on your behalf. And people tend to listen to other people. I never buy a product unless I've at least asked one person what their experience with that product is. So make sure that you are using those other marketing channels to amplify this one. And then you can use it in multiple different ways. You can have them sign up to the affiliate program and redirect them to your DTC site. You can direct them to your TikTok Shop site where you're promoting certain types of products. You can even, and next slide, please. You can even have your customer service team plug in this referral program, which is a fantastic customer acquisition tool in their everyday interactions with customers. Somebody comes in, they have a question about the fantastic product that they just bought, resolve their query, and it will be a great spot to remind them that, hey, there's money in this for you too. If you go tell your friends about it, you can make some money, some actual cold hard cash. So let's give you some live examples on how this works on TikTok Shop. So we had a brand, a fantastic brand called Tabs Chocolate. they had somewhat of a controversial product, right? It was a chocolate that promoted sexual wellness, and it had that a little taboo element, and they were struggling to grow within TikTok Shop. The food and beverage space is very crowded, is very saturated. There are a billion chocolate and sweets brands on there, but they took a few steps, few very, very simple steps that I'm going to go over with you to grow their affiliate and creator pipeline to make sure that mentions of their brand were multiplied across the many, many creators that they worked with. And they were able to increase their top line revenue by a whopping 17%. And what's greatest is, sometimes with affiliate marketing or word of mouth, you don't know how to forecast it. They were able to accurately predict that we're going to get 10x our investments into this affiliate network within within TikTok Shop and our affiliate creator relationships. And we're going to get 10 times our return on investment. So how did they do this? I think you need to press second again. The first step is you want to find creators, not influencers. What is the difference? Creators have their own branded pages across multiple social media channels. This includes TikTok. Those are going to be people who speak specifically about beauty products, right? Like they're a makeup guru, or there are people specifically speak about athleisure wear because they're a runner. Influencers in general tend to promote across verticals and brands. You want someone who has expertise in the niche that you are selling in. You want to onboard them to the affiliate program. And again, reminder, you want to make this process as easy as possible. Give them a link to share. Don't give them long sign-up forms. Don't have them hunt on your website to find out where they can sign up for the affiliate program. Make sure that at every point of the customer journey, whether you're following up with them on email, SMS, whether it's right after they purchase, or whether you're reaching out to them on TikTok, they can easily find out the details and the details of your affiliate program. The details of your affiliate program, one, and two, that they can sign up super, super easily, and that their friends, the people that they recommend, can sign up too, because that's how you snowball your affiliate program. You want to educate your creators on the high performing content. So there are going to be people who have created content for your brand. You're going to have created content for your own brand using inventory stock images and videos, or whatever it is that you're putting ad dollars behind. See which of those perform best and have your creators emulate that. Now, it's very, very important not to make any creator brief too restrictive. Again, the reason you're going after a creator and not an influencer is that they already have a voice and they have already built an audience, and you want to tap into that audience. What happens then is the creators post the short form content based on what you've shown them, based on what they understand about the brand. It can take a form of an unboxing, or hey, let me give you a review of this new lip gloss that I bought, whatever it is. And then they can share it across their branded pages using the affiliate link that you provided them with. And your posts go viral. I do want to mention that virality is very, very, very rarely organic in today's world. Virality a lot of times is manufactured. If you wait for a post of yours to hit it, you'll be waiting for a long time. There are ways to engineer this by following these 6 very simple steps. The laws of averages works on your favor. If you post consistently and you have your creators post consistently, and they know that they're going to get paid every time somebody clicks on that affiliate link on purchases, and the people who are clicking on the links are getting some kind of discount offer as well. Depends on how you structure your program. You will go viral. Let me show you some simple math on this. So this is what Tabs did. Let's say they started with 50 creators, right? They hit up all these 50 creators, and each of these creators, I think 3 of them started posting each day. So each day they'd hit 3 out of that segment of 50. What next? You can show the whole thing. Yes, they had 150 pages. So Tabs Chocolate created 150 pages of Tabs Chocolate content, right? And they were called things like Tabs Chocolate 1, Tab Chocolates 1_1. And then they took those posts that their creators were making, reviewing their chocolate and its performance and what they liked about it, and they spread it across all their pages. And very soon it snowballed, and they had 450 posts per day. And just because there was a sheer volume of content about Tabs Chocolate, people took notice. They saw all these hashtags. They were like, why am I seeing so much about this chocolate? Tabs made itself go viral, and they relied on their affiliate networks to do this. And their affiliates were excited to do it. They never got tired of it because they knew, oh, the more people see my videos, the more they'll click on my link, the more I will make, and obviously the more Tabs made as well. Next slide, please. Yeah, per day. So the way we do TikTok shops on Social Snowball tries to emulate this 1, 2, 3 strategy where you don't over-engineer or overcomplicate things, and you make it super easy on yourself and on the affiliates and the creators that you're working with. One, you want to know what those hero products are, like Jeremy said, and you want to add them to your list of products that you want to promote on TikTok. This is not going to be all the SKUs you have possible on your DTC website. You're going to find out through testing and through working with partners like AdQuadrant which products are actually performing well for the TikTok audience, and you're going to add those. You're going to enable your program for open collaboration. What this means is you're going to signal to people, creators on TikTok, those you've reached out to and those you haven't reached out to, and to customers who are coming across your brand, that you want to work with them on an affiliate basis. You're not burying the lead. And 3, the creators start creating the content, you amplify that content, boom, money. I did want to say something about how you want to incentivize your creators at any given time, and how you should split these different audiences. Next slide, please. You want to recognize your top performers. So there are going to be creators that you add on that TikTok Shop affiliate where they get a lot of link clicks. There are some that are going to drive a couple of referrals. You're going to want to incentivize those VIP creators or those top ballers and breadwinners that are bringing in a lot of dough over to your store. You want to recognize them and offer them a different incentive. And you also want to create tiers so that people know, whoa, the more I work with this brand and the more I'm promoted on TikTok Shop, the more money I'm going to make. The way you could do this is by setting, and then there are a couple of like useful strategies I can share right now. You set a tiered approach. So joining, people are making maybe a 10% cash back for every sale that they're able to refer. If they hit a certain milestone, let's say they've referred 10 people or they've driven $1,000 worth of revenue for you, automatically within Social Snowball, we have the ability to do this, but you could do this with any of the affiliate marketing programs that you have. You can promote them to another tier, recognizing their hard work and the fact that they hit that milestone. And now their commission rate is higher, the discount code that their friends, family, and followers are clicking redeems for higher, and maybe they're getting a little something from your brand, and so on and so forth. By segmenting your VIP ambassadors from your everyday customers, you are promoting and nurturing a longer-term relationship with them. That way, in busy holiday periods and when your brand becomes big and hot, and those creators are being approached by other brands, they'll say, no, I want to stay with this brand because they treated me right and they recognize my effort. One word of advice I did want to share with everyone here: your referral program is not a loyalty program. Those serve 2 very different functions. Your work with affiliates and creators on TikTok Shop, on off TikTok Shop, is designed as a customer acquisition strategy. You want to get in people through the door who have not heard of your brand before and who would have not found it otherwise. A loyalty program is designed to get people to buy again and again and again. Now, an affiliate program can have some loyalty applications. That's a happy byproduct, but you want net new customers, and it's going to be an own channel. That list of creators and affiliates that are promoting for you is going to be just as valuable as your email list, as your SMS list, or as any other own paid media list that you have. Why is this important, and what is the biggest difference in between these in terms of affiliate marketing? Next slide, please. Referral programs, unlike loyalty programs, offer better incentives. What this means is they offer cash incentives, whether it's gift cards, whether it's direct wire transfers or Venmos or PayPals, what have you. You are giving your affiliates more options. Loyalty programs obviously are designed to keep the money in store, right? You're giving them store credits, loyalty points that they can redeem at a later point. And again, that has its own use case. An affiliate program is super, super attractive and is super effective because you're giving people money. You're like, hey, thank you for helping me sell this product. Here's 10% of that sale price, or 5%, or however it is you're structuring your incentive. And they know they can go spend that money on anything they want. And that's what keeps their relationship with you strong. And that's also what keeps their excitement high for working with you. And it's also why your ROI with affiliate marketing is going to be much, much, much higher. And the best part about this is, like I said earlier, it has loyalty applications, because once they start getting cash from you, they're 100% going to buy from you again once they need to buy that kind of product that you're selling. One last word of caution, and I like to end this. I like to end with this. I call this the put the fear of God into them slide. Fraud is a problem on and off TikTok Shop, especially with affiliate marketing and with any other marketing channel. People leak codes to coupon sites, and there are browser extensions that can pick up the codes, and that can lead you to inaccurate attribution, so you don't know how much your affiliate marketing program is actually bringing in. The worst case scenario, of course, it will cause you to pay out commissions that were not actually earned because those codes were leaked. It was not based on the effort of the individual creator affiliate you worked with. But there are also a lot of bad actors in the space, right? There are people who will run paid ads on their own affiliate codes, in which case the ad money is doing the work. They're not doing the work. There are people who will bid against your search terms, so that when somebody Googles your brand name, their TikTok profile shows up first and not your TikTok shop. And so there are a bunch of ways within Social Snowball that we've created to prohibit this behavior. But if you are running an affiliate marketing program today, I would highly, highly, highly recommend doing an audit, seeing, okay, where am I seeing success? Because this will also enable you to know where to invest more in. All right, am I working best with the TikTok creators who are in the micro and nano category, or am I getting the most money from the TikTok creators who are really, really, really big, right, and have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers? Eliminating fraud is a good way to protect your attribution, is a good way to figure out how to make those investments. I'll just end by saying any attendee, next slide please, for this webinar gets a 30-day free trial from Social Snowball. You'll be able to do and set up all your entire affiliate marketing program. All you need is a Shopify storefront and a TikTok shop if you have a TikTok shop. If you don't have a TikTok shop, that's okay. We can work with you until you get one. Just to give you an idea, 98% of people who have gone on our free trials convert because affiliate marketing works. It's a very, very easy channel to set up today. Everybody on this webinar, the second you get off this webinar, can go and set up an affiliate program today, reach out to your existing customers, convert them to ambassadors, and watch that revenue draw in. And that will give you also more room and more capital to grow and implement some of the other strategies that Jeremy and Linworks are going to be sharing with you. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Just when you're looking at Social Snowball as a technology, obviously it helps you do a lot of what you mentioned before. But if I'm a retailer or brand, what should I expect? From a cost perspective, from a people perspective, to get all of this set up, like Tabs Chocolate. Like, there's a lot of investment that they've done there. What should they expect going into this?
Yeah, so like I said, affiliate marketing is a very simple channel. I am very, very leery of ever over engineering things, but with Social Snowball and with any affiliate marketing software, the setup should be simple. For us, it is simple. It should take like an hour to get you set up and set up all the conditions for your programs. Again, depending on how fancy you want your program to be, you can spend a little bit more time on it. The day-to-day management is not intensive at all. You would need like maybe 2 to 5 hours a week in terms of bandwidth, just to give people the idea what you should expect. But the number one prop value for Social Snowball or any other affiliate marketing software, but specifically for Social Snowball, is that we help you automate a lot of manual processes. This would be very, very, very tedious advice to follow if you had to do all of this manually. There are options to automate. Like, let's just take the tiering, for example, moving an affiliate from one tier to another because they're doing a good job and driving a lot of sales. If you have to do it manually, that means you have to go in and check in every day. And sometimes you have thousands of affiliates. That's not possible. Setting an automation that moves them as soon as they hit specific milestones you set for them, that saves you a ton of time. And it also helps you drive revenue because it's less work for the affiliate too, right? So you want to make it as easy as possible for them. And that's kind of like the ethos of Social Snowball and like the affiliate marketing technology. In terms of cost, it is very, very, very cheap. We charge at like a flat fee rate. We don't cannibalize your success. And we do have a calculator, and we can send that in the follow-up, that allows you to see, okay, what should my commission rates be? What kind of discount codes should I offer? Are you optimizing for profit? Are you optimizing for scale? What should my tier programs be? And we'll share that calculator. It's free for use for anybody, just to see, okay, what are the numbers if I'm starting to do affiliate marketing?
All right, great. Thank you. And the last section we'll transition to is strategic operations. So obviously operations are the backbone of scaling your TikTok shop. And so I'm going to turn it over to Bill, who's going to walk us through some of those key operational strategies that you have to have in order to be successful in a marketplace like TikTok Shop.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Caroline. Happy to be here with you guys today. And yeah, so what I'm hoping to talk about is that operations piece, right? So what we've heard earlier, as Jeremy mentioned this, virality is a thing that we have seen kind of happen in ways that are unprecedented in our lifetime in the last few years. And when we look at some of these newer emerging markets like TikTok, Shein, Temu, what we're seeing is new marketplaces, and new marketplaces aren't a new thing, right? Those have been going on for a long time. But what we're seeing is this explosion of growth that some marketplaces or channels need a really long time to kind of generate and ramp up. But we're seeing that just really pop off quick here with some of these newer channels, TikTok in particular. And one of the benefits of our company with Linworks, we're getting to work with a lot of these brands, and we're getting to see firsthand a lot of this exponential growth happen. And what we've seen time and time again is that if you don't have we all want our businesses to grow, but the challenge is that unfortunately our problems or our bad habits will scale with us just like our growth. And so if we don't have that operational piece in place, that backbone to really support the business as we experience that growth and movement, that's when we can see things start to fall apart. So what we want to talk about, you can see here on the slide, Linworks, we do a lot of things, right? We wear a lot of hats. Order routing, shipping, order fulfillment, managing your inventory and warehouse. We're trying to help all aspects of the business. It's a true e-commerce software. It's not just one thing, but we're trying to really help in a holistic way. And a big part of how we're going to do that is through automation. So while you can see right here, these are the kind of core tenets of the TikTok integration in particular. We're going to be passing orders back and forth. We're going to be updating TikTok when your order has shipped, when the order's been picked. Making sure that stock levels are accurate. That's all good and great. But if you go to the next slide, you can kind of see some tenets that we kind of hold to streamline all of those operations. So automation is going to be a big one, right? So automating that inventory management, trying to maintain a close to real-time stock accuracy is going to be paramount, right? So I'm guessing that for many of you, you all are going to be selling products not only on TikTok, but you might have multiple marketplaces, right? You might have your own Shopify or BigCommerce or WooCommerce store. You might be selling on Amazon or eBay or Etsy or any number of places. So my question is, if you sell a product on Etsy or eBay or Amazon, how does TikTok know that? Are you having to go in and constantly keep eyes on all of these different places, making sure that as orders are coming through, we're keeping inventory accurate? The right hand is telling the left hand what to do. For many individuals, this can be kind of a crippling or arresting need of a business, right? They don't have the time or energy to really be able to manage this in a way that's going to keep everything accurate. So bringing in software such as Linworks, keeping that inventory accurate at all stages is going to be just such a huge help, right? When a product sells over here, we want to make sure that that's updated over there, because the last thing that we want is dealing with, being stocked out, not having enough inventory to sell, overselling. So we're going to get real unhappy customers really quickly if we're selling products that we can't actually fulfill. So, we want to keep this accurate everywhere that you're selling and really want to underscore the importance of that, but also the ease with which we can do that, right? So, in software such as Linworks, we're going to have direct integrations to all of the major players, around the world, right? We're a truly global company. We've got integrations with channels in Europe and in APAC and North America and South America. So, really getting your products in front of the customers that you want them to be, and then making sure that those are staying accurate at all times. Another piece that's been mentioned already by some of the great presentations we've already heard is really interacting with and knowing your data. Businesses that take the time to really understand not only what products are selling, but how they're selling, those are the ones that end up with the greatest results, right? So taking into consideration, previous peak seasons, taking into consideration your consumption rates, and overall, setting yourself up so that when stuff starts to move fast, you're ready and you're right there, right? You've got those tools in place so that you're not going to miss out on any opportunity when things start to pop off. You're sitting there ready to go. So once those things start moving fast, we're going to get into some not, I don't even want to call it nitty gritty. We're going to just call it run of the mill things that every business is going to deal with, right? So what are some of those challenges or just kind of day-to-day considerations? Well, order fulfillment is going to be a huge one, right? So today, maybe you guys are selling 50 orders a day, right? And you're like, I want to scale, scale, scale. So what happens when that 50 turns into 500, right? And we've seen it. We've seen it with a lot of clients. They catch that right wave, and before you know it, they're just skyrocketing 100, 200, 300% growth. But if the operations aren't there to support it, that's when things can start to fall apart. So what we try and encourage, with our software, is to really kind of take hold of industry best practices and ensure that we're implementing those, from as early on as possible, making sure that we've got the right processes in place to support growth. So what are some of those, right? Picking, it can be a great example, right? That order fulfillment piece. Um, uh, Something that my colleagues have termed the zombie walk, right? So let's say you've got 10 orders come in and the same product is on every one of those orders. If we're picking order by order, we're having to walk across the warehouse 10 separate times, really 20 if you think about it, to the place and back, in order to fulfill those 10 orders. What if we could pick all 10 of those orders at the same time, right? What if we could organize the warehouse in such a way that we know exactly where every product is, how many you can expect to find there, and which ones are where? So many times I've seen clients come to us and they complain about very common things, right? I don't know where my products are. I don't know how much I have, therefore I don't know if I can sell it or if I can't sell it. And I can't keep things accurate in real time. And that's something that a software such as LinWorks can really overcome immediately, right? So uh, just like the services that we're seeing here today being presented, if we can invest in ourselves, if we can invest in via software in our business and in our day-to-day operations, what we see is just the support needed to be able to shoulder that growth and to shoulder kind of where things are going. Um, so having that system in place, making sure that our warehouse is organized and labeled, that we've got a clear and efficient picking and packing processes in place are going to be key factors that we would encourage in order to make sure that you do experience that success, as your business continue to grow and grow. But there are other elements that we can take into consideration too, right? So let's say, we've got the basics on lock, right? So we've got our warehouse organized, we've got everything labeled, we know exactly where products are at any given time during the day. We've got, the most efficient pick routes set up. We've got our fast movers located directly next to our packing station, so that we're saving time instead of having to waste steps. We can get those orders out the door that much faster, right? So we've got all of our basics kind of set up so that we can sell confidently and without fear, and we can actually start to plan for the future. So what are other ways that we can plan for that future, that we can continue to support and set ourselves up for success? So some of the things that our software would help with would be some of the more tedious day-to-day tasks, right? So what we've strived to do at LinWorks, and what we're hearing with all of the different pieces of software being represented here, are trying to increase that automation as much as possible, right? So what does that mean in practicality, right? So taking time to not only know how we're selling and where we're selling, but also investing in pieces of kit like stock forecasting, right? So it's one thing to know what's selling and on what channel, but really how quickly, right? Let's determine, our days on hand and how quickly products moving out the door, by taking into consideration previous peaks, right? So that historical sales data, taking into consideration, your lead time. So how long does it take to get those products from your suppliers and your vendors? That's an important piece. It's one thing to say, oh, hey, I've only got 10 items left of this product, I need to order it. But if it's a 6-month lead time, you needed to order it months ago. So having that kind of awareness, not only of how you're selling, but also procurement, right? So being able to help manage those suppliers and vendors, being able to streamline the creation of purchase orders, right? So being able to look at all of your product catalog and know at a glance what products need to be reordered, when they need to be reordered. Using that data to know how much to reorder can be save so much time when it comes to generating efficiencies and trying to practice, kind of the industry standards. Having those types of tools in your toolbox really are going to allow you to shoulder that growth and to stay ahead of the game. Another piece trying to automate things via rules. So in our software, we've got a really, really, really strong order routing and order management kind of system in place. So what we've seen is maybe, at first, as businesses are starting to grow, they might have, those orders coming in, and they can kind of maintain that volume that they're experiencing, early days. But as they continue to grow and scale, that might balloon in such a way that it makes sense to employ the services of a third party logistics, right? So whether you're hiring an independent or private 3PL, or you're taking advantage of things like Fulfilled by TikTok or Fulfilled by Amazon or Walmart's fulfillment services, taking advantage of these tools that are at your disposal can really help that growth engine, right? And with a software such as ours, which is intimately integrated with those features, it makes that expansion, kind of horizontally very, very easily to kind of set that foundation for growth. Knowing that you have multiple pools of inventory from which you're able to fulfill all these different orders coming in lets you sleep at night, right? You know that business is going to continue. And one thing that I like to talk to prospective clients about is, part of our job is helping you have those vacations. Because at times, it can feel as though that if you take your eyes away from what's happening, it's all going to fall apart. So what we're talking about doing here is investing in your businesses and ensuring that you have the correct pieces of kit or the correct tools in place that would allow you to know with confidence that, hey, I've got this thing oiled to fine precision, that this is going to continue working. I'm able to avert my eyes for a second and trust that not only are we going to maintain the status quo, but we're going to also continue to grow. So having rules in place to be able to apply, specific shipping rates, to suggest certain boxes or packaging types to make sure that we're, maximizing our returns, so that we're not wasting money anywhere, but we're being sure and careful, to make the right decisions, and automating as many of those as possible, so that we don't have to worry about the potential of human error. We can trust that it's going to be done correctly at the right time in the right way. So I know we've got a time check going, so I'll wrap it up. But here on the screen, you can see we've got a bit of an operations checklist. This is just a little something we hope you guys can walk away with, as just kind of reminders, right? Stuff to check in on, not only to make sure that things are working appropriately up top, but also different areas of your business that you can periodically check in on to make sure that things are moving with the utmost efficiency. So whether that's making sure that inventory is syncing appropriately, that we're performing those audits, that we've got those evaluations in place for returns workflows or picking workflows, making sure that we're being careful to focus on all aspects of the business, not letting anything slip between the cracks. So I'll wrap up there, and yeah, thanks so much.
All right, great. Thanks to all of our presenters. We have time for a couple of questions. I think one of the, as we do that, what we'll put up here is ways to get in touch with each of our companies. So if you'd like to take Social Snowball up on their offer, please scan their QR code. The same with Ad Quadrant if you're interested in working with them on either setup or the framework that Jeremy mentioned, definitely reach out to them as well. We'll be sending all of this in an email to all of our attendees, so you should receive all of this information, as well as an ebook that we have with some additional tips and tricks for working in TikTok Shop. I think one of the questions that I see most often, and we got prior to this, is about what to expect from TikTok Shop if they have a certain number of sales in Amazon or Walmart, etc. And from what I understand and what I know in talking to people that have set up TikTok shops, is it's a completely different experience. So it's hard to say you get 70 sales in Amazon that equates to X in TikTok, because it is such a different setup process. You have affiliate programs, you have creators, you have different frameworks, different advertising. Is there anything that anyone else can lend to that, just from what you've heard from talking to other people that have set up a TikTok shop and been successful?
I think what you have when you have success on another platform is data, right? So ideally, depending on if you're talking about being on Shopify, where you have customer data and you understand what people are buying and why, versus maybe Amazon, where you have sales volume and reviews. You can't predictably say 70 sales here equal 30 sales there, but what you can say is these are the products that are selling. This is what people are saying from a review standpoint, which could feed into creative. This is the pricing and promotion that works. You can take all that seed data and set up the right foundation to accelerate traction, right? If you're top seller on Amazon, everybody loves and all the moms love it because it helps them save time in the morning. That should then translate into a creative concept that talks about that with a mom as the avatar, and that's going to push you further and faster, right? And lean towards more success. The Amazon sales didn't predict the TikTok shop sales, but the data you have from your existing channels informed what you do on TikTok shop. So that's how I would do it. Leverage all the data you have to stack the deck in your favor, and then you'll have faster traction. But it's definitely not a 1 + 2 = 3. It's a 1 + however much data you have equals speed, right?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And then we also got a question in about determining hero products. And I know we'd sent over a response. Jeremy put a lot of thought into that. But if you could just give the highlights very quickly on how someone would go about determining what their hero product is, what you mentioned before, data, 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 right?
Right, 100%. So I think I'll give it to you here, right? It's a very straightforward process, right? And I would keep it lightweight, right? I would create a hero product scorecard. I would essentially say, what are my products now? And I'm going to use my favorite word, profitability. I would take my product, the cogs of my product, my shipping, so I understand like how much margin I have available. Then I would put that into a Google sheet. Let's just keep it simple. I would then research the products that are selling on TikTok Shop right now in that same Google sheet. How much are they selling it for? Price? How many sales do they have? How many reviews, discounts, creators, commissions? Put all that into a spreadsheet, right? And then compare, right? You might sell, purple socks or white socks, right? But all your competitors are selling the white socks at 80% lower price. You don't want to sell that, right? Use some common sense there and say, if I have 20 products, here are the products that are selling, and here are all the data points, and just score it, right? Based on that information, the purple socks might win in this situation because you have enough margin to provide discounts and creator commissions and to pay creators and do all the things, right? So basically take your current products, the cogs for those products to understand how much wiggle you have in terms of margin, then compare that to what already has traction on TikTok Shop, rank them, and start putting resource behind buying that data. That's how we approach it. That's a very simplified way of thinking about how we approach it, but that's how we would do it.
Okay, great. I think we are going to wrap that here for today, but thank you all for the time and attention on our session today about TikTok. Thanks to our presenters, and again, we'll be sending that information and everything we talked about on our session today. We'll how to get in touch with our presenters, um, checklists, and all of the relevant tools and frameworks that can help you get started on TikTok Shop or help you amplify what you're already doing today. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.